Guess it should be game over. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for a Hematurge here. Our Log Breach is crazy against an aggro. The only problem is that we need like a third corpse here. Oh, forget about that. Hello, welcome to the stream. Have you ever seen or even thought of the combo? Oh my bro. Who else would try it if not me, right? I'm showing it one time. That is how you win games right now. How are you doing there? This dude will have nightmares today. That was not even close, right? Top 100. So today we're playing this deck, which is a new edition of a Triple Blood Sack Death Knight, right? So I was, the previous edition of the deck included some cards like a Shalandrazil, like a Nazera, if you probably saw that on YouTube before. By the way, if you didn't, sub yet to get all the updated decks so far, make sure to do so. But for now, I excluded those two cards and added like a Dreamplanner Zephrys here and another Threads of Despair. Threads of Despair is kind of like a combo card for us to have an early full board clear if you have like a Poison Breath coupled with our hero power. So Threads can give you like a full board clear as early as turn 7 if you're not lucky enough to actually like draw a wild pyro to have a board clear for 4 mana. And Dreamplanner Zephrys just like gives you more abilities, more variability, like depends on where you are at the game. Like if you need a board clear, for example, if you're playing against an aggro, or if you need like some huge drops, so it might be a really good thing for you to actually have some draws, some heal or something like this. Or if you're about to finish your opponent off, this can give you obviously damage to their face. But the idea of this card here is just to get a little more, a little more board clears overall. We are more than fine on value. We still have like a really cool combo of Assisless, like for 0 and an Avatar on an empty board, for us to gain like a huge board overall without actually doing anything so far. Avatar of Hearthstone won us so many games so far. I kind of think this is kind of like a card that is meant for Triple Blood, considering we are playing a control-ish deck. Plus we can get the Avatar with Nightmare Lord Xavius, and kind of can cost even 2 less, or Battle Cries triggered twice or something like this. So this card was actually something that provided us a variability to actually find all those key cards for our cool combos so far, to regain the board advantage, to get some extra draws, to get some extra cool stuff. So as far as even a Dirty Red can have a double Battle Cry from a Nightmare Lord Xavius, and that might you just win a game solely by itself. But as far as it is, we are playing against a lot of tempo-ish decks, something like a Drunk Paladin, something like a tempo like Ashamana Rock or something like this. So a lot of the times you're just you just need all those early board clears to win the game instantly, after turn 9 or something, as soon as the Zilliax comes out, for example. Yeah, so I was thinking about this way we have a little better start against Aggro, and against some kind of control-ish decks we still have Kil'jaeden, he still have an Avatar, all the good stuff. We can discover Headless Horseman from Hematurge. All these good things are going well for us either way, right? And Hideous Husk was another addition of a Triple Blood deck before, because it's kind of still an early board clear with all of those liches. So here it's kind of an all-in anti-aggro deck, and this should work well as soon as we're facing not some kind of combo decks like a Zarimi Priest, but if we are facing some kind of aggro, which is the most prevalent archetype right now on the ladder. A lot of Menager decks, a lot of Drunk Paladins, a lot of their good stuff. And we have to we have to kind of adapt to the meta and just target all of those decks that are the most prevalent. About 40% of the whole ladder is something aggro, right? Even sometimes even more. So if we find a way to actually tackle an aggro consistently, not losing a game against that, we are good to go, because in Control Mirror we kind of have a huge shot here. We'll consider all the cards that we have here, and plus being a Triple Blood. So as far as it is, we have to try that out, and let's jump right in. Against the roll, okay.
I never turned down a good draw.
Well, depends on what kind of rock that is. If that is an Ashaman rock, right? We kind of want to, you know, to draw Kil'jaeden as soon as possible. And it says, but not that early though. Not that early though, unfortunately for us. But we'll see. If that is a, you know, a usual Protoss rock, might be fine. It depends, right? Well, Horror is actually pretty good. Creature of Madness is actually like gives us something to play on turn 2-3, which is like, you know, which I lack right now. Like these cards are kind of like that's turn 4, and that is like, you know, waiting for a Poison Breath and waiting for some kind of like mid game. This is kind of like obviously not playable for now. Okay, so that is a Mr. Ashaman rock, right? As far as I remember the list. All those combo cards and stuff like this, just to get rid of the whole hand as fast as possible. Battle Cry is triggered twice, which is like, you know, awesome here. And this kind of like gives us variability to flood the full board with everything, but I kind of like, you know, considering that it's a Ashaman rock, the more cards we draw, the better. Plus, like, you know, we still need, like, against an Ashaman rock, he probably floods like the whole board like as soon, like, really fast. For now, we kind of want to, you know, to get Kil'jaeden and Avatar from our deck. That is like our, you know... Wait, maybe that is actually a Pirate Cine. Like, do we go for a Scarab Keychain here? And try to remove a 2-3? I guess we should. Well, that's a win. I mean, why not? I mean, why not? Don't really want to boat there. It can be a pirate rock. I've seen like I've seen it once against me. They have like this weapon for forest, as I remember, that actually summons pirates, and they just like cycles through the deck like crazy. And they have like you know, depending on what kind of like pirate rocks that is, they might just impute in Ashamans there, because you know, they might just like throw away all their cards from their hands. Well, that is you know, that's something. I will clear that out. No problem whatsoever. Let's go. That's, you know, that's a pretty good turn 4 for us to clear the whole board. Like this, the longer we survive against like a full tempo of a pirate rock, the better that is for us. As soon as like a Zilliax comes out, usually that means that is a game over against like an deck or something. But you know, we kind of like have to keep in mind that they just like can easily impute an Ashamon like in whatever aggro decks that is, just like for last resort, right? What are we here? Like there are a lot of possibilities for us. You can't even do a Dirty Rat here, just as crazy as it is. Because this board trades into a Dirty Rat, and a Strats just like clears it off. Strats just like clears it out, so it's kind of like a full board clear, whatever we like do, like whatever we get out, right? Let's go. Let's go. No problem whatsoever. As I said, like as longer we survive with that one, the better. Shadow Step and a 1/1, no problem, bro. Still board clear. At least he wasted a Shadow Step here. At least he wasted a Shadow Step here. Here goes the Sandbox, okay, well, Explosive turn 5, I guess, rating 40, okay. 4-0, by the way. Here's a weapon, right? Here's a weapon he was looking for here, which summons a lot of, like, small dudes so far. We have a board clear with a Sanguine Infestation if he does a weapon here. It depends, right? Depends on what he wants. Well, like, considering like these two cards, we probably can clear everything that he plays out, like even for 6 mana, a weapon plus like a pirate for 2 or something. Sandbox, okay. Well, still a clear, right? Still a clear. Still a clear. If he doesn't have the boat, we are like more than fine here. Full board clear, let's go. Can come in. Still at 31 HP. And turn 7. Let's see, he still has like another sandbox here. Lucky Comet, okay.
Now this is treasure.
Let's go. Hosen, okay. Okay, that was actually really lucky for him to get a Pyre from him. We don't really have a board clear, we have to look for it in the Hematurge. We'll have to top deck it simply, right? As simple as it sounds, we just like have to top deck it. And here's a board clear. Guess it should be game over. Instantly, right? That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet, though. Threats was actually extremely helpful not to get like those extra damage, but obviously, like, you know, as soon as we pick up, get another board clear, this game is over instantly. Like, you know, we can find a corpse explosion from Hematurge and the game is over. We can top deck any kind of like board clear, you know, a lot of good stuff can happen for us. But still, we were able like to, you know, consume one more, right? Consume one more turn from him. And still be alive, which is like important. Okay, Zarimi Priest. Against the Zarimi Priest, we are looking for specifically a Durran into Narin or whatever it's called, like a 7/7 that makes dragons cost 1. Because that is like his only win con, like usually. Usually that is his only win con. And we can pass, like, who cares, right? Let's take it slow here. If he hits and just like doesn't do a bird watch, and we're fine. Price Bender, so that is 100% is arena, right? Okay. Pretty good so far. It's actually an efficient, you know, card draw, considering that like he doesn't care like what happens to him. That's a pretty efficient stuff. Pure Pine Power. Maybe that is actually some kind of aggro. Not sure. Maybe that is actually some kind of aggro. Well, we have a strat. Like we have 0 cares in the world. Like if that is an aggro, right? Let's go for control the board, that should be fine. And that should be fine. Those are 2 worst cards against an aggro priest. But they might have a weapon at least. It doesn't matter for us. Another catch of the day, okay. Well, the more minions you have, the better. But, you know, we'll keep that just in case it is actually an aggro stuff, right? Nightmare Lord Xavius. What do we want here? We can do threats. We can do a lot of things. Like, Infested Breath is kind of like good enough by itself. Like, as crazy as it sounds. Infested Breath and Hematurge just like feels fine, feels nice. And good enough, I would say. Helm of Humiliation is probably something okay-ish here. Because that's a removal of 1 card, like whatever he plays out. And like, you know, those minions are kind of big. I would really like, you know, like the idea of a Helm of Humiliation to something like this. Like, for example, it can like remove a 4/5 like right away in the board, right? And he probably will trade in a 3/4 into a T3, and 4/5 is probably like going into a ledge. So I guess Helm of Humiliation is kind of like cool here. The only problem that I see here for us is okay, that was strong by the way. 2/9. That is like, you know, extremely strong here. We have 5 corpses. Well, that is a clear of most of the board. But not everything though. Can do 2 attack here, 3 attack here, it's 6 HP. 3 damage from here. Oh, it's not enough. 6, not enough, right? What if we do a Pyromancer? Pyromancer plus threats. 2 damage here, 3 damage from Pyro. 4, 5. It's kind of like it was 1 HP here, right? 1 HP here. Doing it with a Pyro is kind of like cool. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's prevent some damage here. Like, I kind of want to actually clear here, unfortunately. Plus, that's, you know, a better corpse explosion after, so I'm fine. Well, considering this card, I'm actually glad we actually did that. He was looking for specifically plus 2 HP here. No more purifying power for him. That's pretty cool. Draws a card and a 2-2. Plus a 2-2 here, okay. Well, that's not too bad. Hematurge for us. We have a corpse explosion plus Hematurge. I guess it is not too bad. I guess that is not too bad. It's kind of like another board clear. He has like 2 cards only left in his deck, like in his hand, I mean. This is kind of like not a threat, but I'm not like sure. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for a Hematurge here. Our Log Breach is crazy against an Aggro. The only problem is that we need like a third corpse here. That's it. Oh, that was you know, that was pretty decent, I would say. Aggro just like has 0 chance so far. Aggro has 0 chance so far against us. I think Strats was kind of like a really good addition so far. Like, considering how much aggro like we face here, that is too much, I would say. Going all in against an aggro, but you know, it all depends. Like, if only like we face as a Remy Priest, we have like a few options to like to win that game, which is specifically their rats into something cool. Warrior. Haven't seen a warrior for like ages, dude. Interesting. Not even sure what kind of warriors are like, you know, playable right now. That will be a surprise for me here, right? Okay. I guess I've seen like, you know, I've seen names of the deck, something like Hydration Warrior and all of that good stuff. I guess it was a Turtola, right? And Turtola is kind of like cool. Juicy card for him. Turtola is a juicy card. So that's a Terran Warrior. Terran Warrior. Terran Warrior. Hero power is kind of fine. Don't really like, not in a rush to actually play a Dreadhound here, I think. Terran Warriors. Terran Warrior. Obviously, with a lot of starships and all that good stuff. Okay, and with hydration still. Okay, well now we know, right? It still has hydrations. I kind of want a Hematurge here, just like for sake of it. Morbid Swarm. Eliza is, you know, is something. Like, consider like we are playing against like a warrior who has a Kil'jaeden probably or something like this. Yeah, they all have Kil'jaeden. Okay. So consider that we are like playing a late game against that guy. Eliza is kind of like a pick here, as I saw it. Okay. Their rat is reserved for a later game because we kind of want to take a Kil'jaeden out. Zil is not like out for us. Well, actually, it's kind of funny how they took away mind control tech, right, from a game, and now kind of like a Zil with poisonous and elusive. It's kind of like cool right now, right? Let's go. 0 cares in the world. Let's leave that city. Don't really want to proc a 1-5 here right now. We still have an Avatar here. Might just like win us a game solo in a league town. Well, he cycles through the decks like crazy, really fast. Cause of Shells, okay. Okay, see you. Hideous Husk. Not too bad, but not too strong, I would say. Not too bad, but not too strong. Infested Breath is kinda cool. There's that Hideous Husk is a little better. You know...
Let me think a second.
I guess let's go. You can do a hero power just like for sake of it. Like, who cares? Dreadhound just like steals there. Okay. Unfortunately, this deck doesn't have a great that is like the only problem that I see so far. Ham is, Ham is concerning because it can actually eat something like an Avatar, Zil, or those cards are kind of like important for us. Dreamplanner Zephrys was important too, I would say. Dreamplanner Zephrys was important too. We have to kill that thing. Let's go for a Vampiric Blood here. Sanguine is fine. Shield block, okay. Arcanine Defense Crystal. I guess Hideous Husk will just like do the trick here. One of the best responses that I see. But I can do a Dreadhound and hero power and be good about feel good about it, right? Sanguine Infestation after. Oh, seems cool. You need some kind of like board clear here. Eliza is kind of like doing some lifting out. So. Threats is actually really good against Azil, against specifically Hydration, right? Hydration Station. Threats will just like clear one, and that is, that is a lot. But we need to draw our late game cards before Hammer Wives, right? Before the Hammer Wives here. Plus, we need a little more of the board clears. We have 2 Corpse Explosions here, Wild Pyro and all of that good stuff. How do we kill that thing? How do we kill that thing? It's kind of like annoying. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Doomsday Hematurge. Hematurge for more value and board clears, obviously. Let's go. Hideous Husk, yet another one. Orbital Moon. Do we want an Orbital Moon here? I guess not. I guess not. Hideous Husk is kind of like better. Well, here power is, right? We are still in a waiting room for some, like, you know, for some stuff. Well, he drew a Zilliax, like, pretty much 100% here, right? He drew a Ham before, for Tartolum here. Goes for new cards, okay. 11 cards left. Okay. A Zell for us. A Zell for us. Kind of a little waste. But do a Zell here. 2 Terran cards. Can be the Boyer Gym Rainer. Still cannot like do a Kil'jaeden. We have to start summoning Hideous Husks, right? Because like who cares? Let's just like throw those away. One by one. Let's go. Well, if I will start actually seeing Terran Warriors, I would add a Crypta, but that is like the first time I actually saw this, something like this. As I said, for a really long time. Okay. That was a Hematurge for us. Well, fine. That's a board clear with a Hideous Husk zone. Let's go for it. Do you like take something out? Just like for sake of it. Just try like test the waters here. Some cards are like, you know, hanging there for quite a while. Let's go. Zil, unfortunately. Unfortunately, a Zil. Doesn't have a reborn anymore, at least. That's pretty sweet. Okay. So hydration is there probably, right? The hydration is there probably. Well, we have to kill that off, fortunately. But it is what it is. No problem whatsoever. Okay, let's find some more options here. Well, here's a corpse explosion. At least one of those, like, you know, hydration stations will be off. I was actually thinking about, like, adding an observer misters in this deck, but, like, you know, we'll see. Well, here you go. It says minus avatar is, you know, is painful. We have another corpse explosion here. We need a little draw. Just like, you know, a little slight draw here. We still have it says, by the way. He had it says by himself, probably. Let's just play it, I guess. Because, like, why not? What if he just, like, doesn't? Like, I kind of want another corpse explosion here, but it feels like the second one will not be playable for quite a while. We might just, like, go for a Kil'jaeden here. Like, as crazy as it sounds. We don't have another Poison Breath and another Wildfire. We just, like, have one corpse explosion. Is it enough? And the shadows, and a Shreds of Despair. We can go for Dinner Rat plus, like it says. Seems fine. Let's try to get a Kil'jaeden now. Let's go. Let's go. Got everything aware, so like, you know, why not? Another hydration station will be killed by threats, you like probably. So you know, we're kinda like fine. And draws the whole deck. Kil'jaeden is not here anymore. Just probably tries to find like what? Well, here's a copy for him. By the way, Bob is a bartender. I actually, you know, forgot about that card. Oh, he found a Kil'jaeden by himself, for himself. Okay, no problem. Tries to go for a late game. Okay, no problem whatsoever. It's kind of like a lot of damage if you're holding one of the same cards your opponent shuffles theirs into their deck. So I'm not sure, like the, not sure that is a thing. He doesn't have a, like, he has access in his deck, right? Has access in his deck.
A trick up my sleeve.
Not sure. Not sure. Not sure I want to commit like too much here. Let's take it slow. I think this is better. Depends on what kind of like last card he has. Maybe he needs a draw, maybe not. Maybe a Kil'jaeden will go off right now. We'll see. We're kind of like a little ahead on a Kil'jaeden. Oh, he draws, so that card was important for him, okay. Okay, noted. Now a Kil'jaeden goes off and he has 4 mana left, okay. Bartender is actually pretty sweet. That's, you know, weird, but okay. Kinda weird here, but you know, it is what it is. He destroyed our avatar. That was like, you know, that was kinda bad for us. Kinda want to keep going. It's not, don't really like want to commit Hematurge here. Kinda want to keep that stuff. If he has a hydration station, like he will have another one. He'll probably like do win. And destroy one Zil here, and that's it. Kind of have a draw, and he doesn't, because he spent his when he sleep under the stars here. Does it kill? No. Oh, it kills. Okay, like this, fine. Well, we're kind of actually forced to do a corpse explosion here, right? That's what he wants to tell us here. That we need to destroy like that Eliza possibility and Chillfallen, right? 66% for this to be extremely good. Okay, let's go. Might have another one, like if that is needed, but we'll see. From Hematurge, obviously. Not sure we have enough board players. At least I played it, because a Turtola would be a disaster there. It would be like a huge disaster, I would say. Need to play a minion first, just in case, you know, that is a bargain bin. Explosive runes, counter spell. Well, let's do this. Okay, not a bargain bin, no explosive runes. This highlight, maybe. I can do a Kerzo. We have to play a goal in such a case first, right? This has to happen. There's a freezing trap, okay. And also Spellline, okay. Well, not too bad. Like this goes here, probably. Hideous Husk, like do we need Hideous Husk here? The answer is like probably yeah, but just like to get rid of it. The later we play these cards, the better. So we're kind of like okay. Hydration Station will summon Hematurge, right? Okay. He has it in his deck. He has like only 2 cards left in... Oh my god, that was such a bad one. As I said, like 66%, right? 66% for us to roll something good, and we rolled garbage, unfortunately. At least it will give us like, you know, something... has a 1-1 treasures here. That looks really bad for us right now. Looks extremely bad for us right now. Okay, that was decent. That was a decent top deck, I would say. 3 damage from here. 13, oh, that's exactly enough to kill it, right? It's just kind of like the best choice, but this is just such a garbage zone. Okay. At least we have an Archimon here. What does it summon? Oh, a couple of good things, as far as I see it. Just a few, right? Just a few. That is extremely strong, though. He's actually holding for Hydration Station here, just to remove something huge, right? And we are holding for strats, like for dear life.
I'm thinking.
Okay, let's clear our board a little. What else do we want? This guy right there? I guess why not? Maybe we had to summon that one, but you know, this is kind of like a tone consistent one.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Okay. What do we have here? Damage. Cost health, it's not like a damage, right? It's not like a damage zone. Nope. Not a damage. But it will consume some damage so far. As far as I see it, it will like win us like when at least 7 HP. No, okay, thank you. I was about like to say no in fury, please.
A trick up my sleeve. You want a piece of me, boy?
Okay, he's playing something that was out there for quite a while. Like at least thinks about it. Colors are this elemental. Oh my god.
What in tarnation?
Dude. Are you for real?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Are you like for real here? Do we take 16 damage just for this, like to be strong? The answer is probably no. The answer is probably no, though.
Embrace the gift of death, as I have.
The entertainment has arrived.
Entertainment has arrived, bro. Dude, that was... Oh my god. Treacherous Tormentor, draw. Just for like a sake of a draw. Dude, like, you're trying... 64 damage. Well, we're kind of like still alive, but my god, bro. But my god, bro. We don't really have like anything so far, right? Well, Archimod is there, but like when? What can he give us? Some cool huge minions, that's it. Strats, like what do strats do for us here? Like pretty much nothing. 16. Is there a way for us to actually get 16 out there? 16.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Oh gosh.
Let me think a second.
Shh. You're too excited, bro. Too excited so far. And we're unlucky.
You ain't seen the last of me.
Unlucky zone. Unfortunate. As I said, like against, against the Terran Warrior, you usually want specifically a Grifter, because at some point, their huge starship will get something like a Wind Fury, and it will be kind of like a 26 damage. And this way you can actually steal that and go for 50 damage plus face hit. Might be like something that wins you a game of a spot. Plus you can like somehow trade oil into it and then take control and destroy them for them not to be able to actually summon it from a hydration station. That ruins a lot of things for them. But Grift is kind of like obviously utility card. And as I said, like it's used basically only against like actually warriors, but and sometimes against Khalif dive demon hunters, and that's kind of like about it. Everything else is kind of like meh. It's cost too much 5 mana to remove 2 minions like on average.
Belong to a brand new species.
Not lucky actually to get a Hematurge from Headless Horseman from Hematurge or another Corp Explosion, like for example, right? A lot of good stuff could happen. We're not lucky enough, unfortunately. We're not lucky enough. Although at least that was a really nice like control-ish matchup. Our pick of an Eliza was really good. Like a lot of interesting considerations here and there. Maybe an early Kil'jaeden was a problem, but like when he still rolled through the whole deck. Well, if only we knew that he had a Bogus the Bartender to get a copy of another Kil'jaeden, right? In such a case, we would just like we would be able to adjust our games there, and that's about it. 8 hands. 8 hands is juicy though. 8 hands is juicy. He's discovering stuff. What kind of, like, maybe a hand buff?
Let me think a
Or
second.
Worms of Praying. Where did I see this card? That's a Draenei? Maybe that's a Menagerie. actually. Maybe that is an aggro. Let's go. I'm kind of think that should be an aggro. Like, considering a one prayer. So damage to enemies, it kills it, summons 3-tailed wolf. Okay. Solid stuff. Let's go with the dirt right here. Trying to like. What the hell is it? Oh my lord, that's pretty cool. At least we're like we don't really have to worry about it anymore. That's an imbue hunter. Okay. Okay, my boy. Imbue hunter is interesting. Okay. Let's get another one out. Oh, that's pretty juicy. That should do it, right? No, not sure, and we're still like facing 8 damage, but it depends like if he finds it or not. He didn't find it, okay. He didn't find it though. He could just like trade a 5-2 there in Durham and hit us for 8 extra damage there. That was a huge mistake. Huge mistake by him. Do we need a corpse explosion just like right now? That's a question. Or do we like take away take the damage? Do we take the damage here? Like considering our hand here, I'm not like really thrilled about what I see here. I'm not really thrilled. While Pyro is kind of like, you know, +2 attack. While Pyro is kind of like, you know, better utility and costs a little less. Does it have any kind of like death rattles that Corpse Explosion is better against? I don't believe so, right? Let's go. We're skipping in turn anyway, so let's let it be a Corpse Explosion. Let it be a Corpse Explosion. Maybe I'll just like top deck something nice, something like a draw, for example. Okay, can you just like, you know, stop Indian stuff? I would really appreciate that stuff. Now that's a draw. That's a draw that I'm talking about. 6 damage from here. I'm ready to take that up. Here's Husk. Charge. Battle Cries triggered twice. That is actually really good. That is actually really good. It might give us like a lot of board clears here, right? Let's do that for now. I don't really care about the 4-4. Let it hit a 4-4 here. Well, here's a board clear 1. Here's a health gain for us. Okay. Okay. I was hoping for, you know, something like a Corpse Explosion, obviously, but we don't really have corpses anyway. Headless Horseman is one of the best cards to roll here, because they will have Mr. like, you know, Mr. Rhino out there, right? Toy Rhinosaur or something like this. Can't remember how it's called like exactly here, but goes for Discover to find something like useful here for as much damage as possible. Tries to find some beasts for his hero power like to be useful so far, to at least like, you know, press that button each time. But for now I guess he like, you know, it's fine on only the imbuser. He didn't like press the hero power yet, as I saw. Why didn't you use a hero power? Not sure. It's weird. Weird. Yes, Husk for us. Pretty good though. Destroys most. 1, 2.
Let me think a second.
It kind of like clears the board here. Not sure. Let's go. It's kind of like gains a lot of health. kind of gains a lot of health for us. Plus, that's a lot of corpses for an airlock breach. Not sure why he didn't use like the hero power like before him when he played this Umbra Claw. Kind of like gives a lot of attack. Like even though you don't really use attack, like why not still? Why did you kill a Husk though? Another question. Husk will just like Husk is useless like without the liches. Plus, like you know, you still have a full-born droid beast if you're here for. Oh, you don't have any beasts anymore. Okay, so the only beasts are like in your hand already. Okay, pretty sweet to know. Pretty sweet to know. Do I go for an airlock breach here? Just like to gain some health. Maybe Kil'jaeden already? Yeah, to just like destroy all the cards. Not really. Okay, let's go. Let me see a charge, bro. Let me see your charge minion here. Chillfallen Baron, yeah, fine. Well, here you go. That's your dream. Let me see. Cost 6 last plus 6 attack. 18 damage. 24 damage. Okay. So he wants to be kind of like, you know, kind of smart here, right? Kind of smart. Okay, see you. Kind of smart. Fine. That is so bad. Just goes for Norike here, right? Just go for Norike, and all we need is a Dura. But we used all of those, right? Well, who knew? There's no way for us to actually stop that madness, right? Like 0 ways so far. We can just like prolong the game a little more. But we can like impute some pressure though. Impute some pressure, how about that? Well, you know, it is what it is. I actually have to not attack here to kill Zetsun, to prolong the game a little more. Has to go out right away. Like we have to force him to, right? We have 25 damage here. Like he is kind of like potentially having this like facing a lethal here.
There, all better.
Me seeing view. Okay, that's your last in view. How much damage does it have? Should not be enough. Because you're, as I said, like you're kind of like seeing a lethal here. $45, okay. That's a GG. We actually forced him to play that out. And that should be a GG. And that should be a GG. Easy as that. He was too scared of a lethal there. as I said, like we had to apply some pressure and force his only win condition. And as I said, like if only I knew that like his whole deck is kind of like concentrates on King Flush, I would just like, you know, keep a Dirty Red and just like win out or whatever.
The citadel stands strong.
Okay, need you know, something juicy so far. Let's go for another arc here. Okay. Kill as many minions like as possible here, and play an Avatar. Oh, forget about that. What are you expecting though? I'm not sure. He probably has like something like 4 damage into someone's face. Maybe that was his whole game plan here, just like to wait for that specific card. Not sure. But as far as it is, that was a pretty good ride for this deck. It lost only 1 game against a turn warrior. Kind of like a killer of, you know, kind of like control-ish decks. But as I said, like if only like we actually adjusted like a deck by just like adding like some interesting cards like Grifter or something like this. Like before, it was like really easy to play against Terran Warrior because you had like a mind control tech in previous expansions. Right now it went off, but like you still have like kind of like a Grifter at least. So that was kind of like a card that would be you know, basically added into this deck. Dreamplanner Zephrys can be like good because you can kind of like, you know, silence all of that. Like you can still take control. You can like go for heavy drops and finally take control like potentially at some point. Well, plus we could be a little more lucky, right? In that specific game. Other games was not like really a problem. And Imbue Hunter was kind of like, you know, a little on an edge. He could just like wait for 1 more turn and maybe win, and he was like, you know, too scared to actually die on that specific turn here, and that was our whole game plan because we didn't have Dirty Rats anymore, because like I played them before I actually knew that was like an ODK all-in kind of hunter. But you know, this deck appears to be quite solid. I hope you guys enjoy what you saw there, and we'll try it out on your own. But for now, that is it for Triple Blood Succ Death Knight.